This is fellow Twitch streamer, XMilitaryMan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Pleasure to
Finally,
meet you.
finally excited about this, man.
Tell people about yourself.
My name is XMilitaryMan. I've been streaming for just about a year, just a little over a year. I'm an explosive detection canine handler, and I've been doing this since 2010. Like I said, I've been streaming only for a year, very short time, but I've definitely been pretty active, obviously, in this last year. Um, I've gained kind of a lot of traction, just streaming and stuff. So,
I love you.
um, oh,
That's my grandma. That's my grandma.
hi, Grandma.
Sandman says hi. And he says hi. She's going to take a nap. All right. So that's cool. How did you come across Twitch?
I mean, I always knew it was there. I mean, I used to watch it all the time on Xbox. Actually, preferred Mixer over Xbox because I was always on Xbox all the time, watching through Mixer. And when Mixer went down, I started just watching it on Twitch. So I've always known about Twitch. I just never actually fully committed to it. And then up until about a year ago, originally I wanted to start, streaming with a bunch of friends, and eventually started learning kind of how to grow streams and stuff like that, and kind of turned it into what it is now, a huge, really, really big community, and like I said, growing at a pretty fast rate.
That's awesome. How would you say your stream has changed how you activate your daily life, your daily routine? Has streaming changed that?
Well, my daily routine. Oh yeah, turn up Hykiri. Give me 1 second, Hykiri. Let me turn you up just a little bit. Can you talk real quick, Hykiri?
Sorry,
Hykiri,
what was
can
that?
you test? Can you talk real quick?
Oh,
Can they hear you? See if they hear you a little bit better. Let me see. All right, let's try that. So you're asking me my daily routine?
yeah, has streaming impact your daily routine?
For streaming specifically?
Yes.
Okay. I'm mostly in meetings like 90% of the time. Like I'll get up and I'll start talking to people, starting to collaborate, setting up interviews like this. I do talk to a lot of people. I help out a lot of the people that are in my community as well. So I'll set up meetings with everybody. Um, Generally, just like I said, it's mostly just networking, working for me, and mostly just doing a lot of like the pre stuff, going over things for my schedule, organizing things, going over T-shirt ideas, going over merch ideas, going over everything. I'm pretty much this is like kind of like what I live and breathe. This is my second job. Obviously, me being explosive detection canine handler, that's my full time job, but this is also my full time job. So even though I stream for maybe about 4 to 5 hours a night, I'm pretty much doing this all day long.
You know, a lot of people don't really consider streaming as a real job. What would you say to those people?
Um, Depending on what you're trying to get out of Twitch. Now I feel like there's always like three types of people. There's the people that just want to do it for fun, and that's 100% okay. There's the people that say they want to do it for fun but expect to get paid, and then there's the people that want to run it like a business. And I feel like you have to really differentiate yourself between which one you want to be and which one you want to be honest about. Because a lot of times people say they don't want to, they're like, oh, I don't care about growing, I don't care about making any money, but then they're really worried about getting affiliate. I tell people all the time, if you're not ready to put in the work, don't worry about making affiliate. If you're just telling people and not being honest about your intentions, who cares about getting affiliate? You know what I mean? Like, who cares about making money? Because it's not, there's no point to it.
Yeah, I
But
100% agree.
if you want to grow, there's a big difference. You have to actually put in that effort.
Um, when people say that to me, you don't really understand that streaming is not just gaming. It's we go in there and we have to network across all these different social platforms. We have to edit our content, make short clips. All the different things that as streamers we need to do. It's not
I
just
agree.
sitting here, playing a game. I think a lot of people just, and even in today's era, who really don't understand what it takes to, become a streamer.
I completely agree.
Do
I
you think
completely agree.
Twitch gives fair requirements to people looking to become an affiliated streamer?
I feel like the requirements are too easy.
You feel they're too easy?
Hmm.
I see. I agree with this. A lot of people disagree and think that the affiliate requirements are too hard. And honestly, I think that's just because a lot of people want to be the next Tim the Cat Man or Amareth or anything you're going to turn on, this webcam and instantly you're famous. And it just don't work that way.
I think I have a lot of conversations, Hykiri, where I think a lot of people expect that they're going to get like this fame from doing this. And I always have to bring them back down to reality that you're not going to be that 1 in a million person that gets rated by Tim the Tatman instantly
Right.
becomes famous. You're not going to be featured on a stream. There's a good chance that you actually have to put in work. I think a lot of people, because I do Twitch reviews and I go over your stuff. So like I'll go over like smaller streamer stuff and I'll go over everything. I'll completely go over and give them advice on revamping their stuff and kind of because one piece of advice I give people all the time is your Twitch page is your resume to your potential viewers.
I agree.
So if you look at it that way, again, business perspective, right? This is a job, it's a business. You know, if you look at it that way with everything, um, including your stream as a whole, you can be very successful at what you do.
I mean, I think you're 100% correct. If you have to have that business mindset, going in, or you just don't have a big chance of you making it if you don't. And you also have to have, I guess, fortitude, not give up when you're streaming for a month and you have one viewer.
Yeah,
It's fine. You know, it, it, people always tell me, I'm greedy for wanting to make money doing
I
this. And I'm
disagree.
like, why? You don't know how much work people put into this. This is a little job.
I
And,
agree
a lot of
100%.
people have, do this real money and real job. They quit their career to do this. It is a feasible career. You just have to know what you're going into and ready to
Correct.
put that work. It's not instant success.
I completely agree with that, and I don't think that you wanting to make money off of a platform is a bad thing. I think that is, like I said, as long as you articulate your plan and articulate your goals and articulate the things that you're trying to achieve, having that support group with your followers as well as your, other content creators you're working with, I think that that's the right way to go. Like I said, when I say I'm in meetings all the time, you aren't the only interview that I have in the next couple weeks. So it's like I literally, this is like what I live and breathe. I try to network as often as I can, and that's part of everything. Going to TwitchCon, going to DreamHack, going to Fan Expo. I do a lot, and I do a lot of talking, getting sponsorships, trying to sit there and network with certain, because like realistically where I'm trying to get is to where 70% of my income is going to come from sponsorships, not even merch is just advertising for me. I don't charge a lot for my merch is probably the cheapest thing that you could purchase like in general with anything because I want people to wear my stuff. I want people to actually enjoy it. So I look at business at, like advertising as going to those things, merchandise as advertising. I don't if I could make zero profit off of it, I would if people bought my shirts more. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I look at it. So obviously, like I said, and I also don't just sit there and try to get any sponsorship. I try to look for specific deals, specific people that I want to work with that I think my community will actually enjoy and actually like. So I gear it towards my community. Like Death Wish Coffee, for instance, is a perfect example of that. You know, most of my guys are literally coffee drinkers or they'll enjoy coffee. I'm not going to sit there and ask them to download Marvel Snap. You
Right.
know what I mean? And get like the code for that. Which I'm not saying that I'm not hating on it, but like at the same time, I'm not a NASCAR driver. I'm not here to sit there and try to sell you 50 different decals that are on my
Right.
license. You know, it just looks a little bad. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't look like it does look like at that point I feel like it's a little bit more of a cash and grab because I'm not being sincere about the product. I want the product to actually represent who I am, and so that's why I never push anything on them ever. Like I don't push anything on them
Right. When it
unless I believe in it.
sorry. Uh,
No, yeah, continue.
When it comes to sponsorship, I getting sponsors. I don't just hop on, whatever's trending right now.
Yeah,
I like to keep my sponsors, which is probably why I don't have any. So I like to keep them, related to what I do and what my community enjoys. I mean, and if I'm gonna push you to buy something that I don't enjoy, why would I want you to buy it?
correct,
And
exactly.
if you're watching me, you obviously enjoy what I do. So
Yeah,
I think it makes when you're only pushing content and sponsors to your audience, I think it shows a connection that you're not here for the money. That you're saying, here, this is something that you might enjoy
correct.
because you enjoy me. So I think that's a much better way of going about it, in my opinion.
I
You know,
completely agree with that.
when it comes, while we're on the topic of it, from moving from affiliate to Twitch partner, how do you think the requirements as of now are for achieving partnership,
I think that honestly, it's fair. I know a lot of people might not agree with me on that.
especially right now?
I think look, look, there's going to be a lot of platforms that pop up.
Oh yeah,
Rumble, Mixer, Trovo, all those things
kick.
that are going to come up that are going to sound really appealing at the same time. Everyone that wants to jump ship and go somewhere else to a platform that's not as stable just because they're not growing on Twitch are not going to grow on these other platforms if they don't understand the basics of actually growing a channel. You're going to have the same problems you're going to have growing on a completely other channel just because it's easier in the beginning on Kick. There's no viewers on Kick, it's mostly streamers. And I think a lot of people don't, I mean, a lot of people might not like that I say that, but that's what you're going into. It's support for support platform. It's not an actual viewing platform. Most of my guys are viewers as well. You know what I mean? Like a good portion of my guys are just viewers. So like it's literally it's one of those things that I think that everyone wants to see the grass say that the grass is always greener somewhere else, but it's really not. And I think a lot of people really don't understand that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think for instance, right now, all the news hopping around is that Amber and what is it, XQC
Mm,
have both left Twitch with $1 billion agreements to go over the Kick. To me, in my opinion, and I don't know these people, so I can't state that, but I feel like when you're on a platform like Twitch, this is where you build your name.
hmm
This is where you made your home. You made your community. Everything on Twitch, and you had the guys, Trovo, Kick, whatever, offering you a contract to go to their platform and leave it to me. That's saying, hey guys, I appreciate the last 5 years you gave me here, but they're offering more money. So I'm gonna go over there. To me, that shows you don't care about your people. You're only here for that paycheck, you
yeah.
know?
Well, I think people I think because they did the same thing with Doctor Disrespect for YouTube. I don't know if you remember that too as well. Everyone would jump to YouTube thinking YouTube was the best platform to stream on, but look at
Right.
where it's at now. Most people that went and jumped ship, not only are you dividing your viewers when you do these things, but you're now leaving the platform that was making you the most traction and the most seen, and then you go to YouTube for that short amount of time because Dr. Disrespect is talking about it, and then all of a sudden you're not growing and you're wondering why.
Yes.
Everybody starts to blame not themselves. They don't even look at themselves as the problem. It's always the streamer's issue. If you're not growing, it's a streamer issue, not a viewer issue. It's not anybody else's issue. It's 100% your issue. As a matter of fact, I'm part of Regiment. I know a lot of people that will crap on Regiment because they're not growing from them. But it's not anybody's responsibility but the streamer to sit there and grow your stream. It's no one's responsibility but yourself. And if you're not figuring out how to sit there and do that, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the stupidest thing you can do when it comes to streaming.
I agree. I think when people jump platforms, like they are right now, it opens up a lot of eyes to your viewers as to what you were actually really after. Um, what is your opinion about the different payout and the terms of service compared to Twitch?
To be honest with you, I mean it looks great. It looks great. Obviously a 90-10 split sounds amazing, but you have to start asking yourself how long, because Trovo did that for a
Exactly.
while. Trovo did that for a while, and then they got everybody over there, and they're like, oh wait, hold on. Well, 10% has to go to charity. Now 30% has to go to us, and now you get 60%. It was 90-10, but eventually it wasn't feasible. So it, I tend to not really care about what other platforms are doing. Generally, the way I look at stream, like just in general, how I advertise myself, I look at the 4 platforms I use right now to gain traction on my Twitch and to gain traction at those platforms. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Those are the things I'm focusing on right now. Regardless, I'm going to post there regardless and get traction towards my Twitch channel. So like that's how I'm doing things. I don't really care about what Kick's doing. Yeah, do I have an account there because I don't want people impersonating me, or
That
I
happened to me
have the
actually.
account I have an account holder just to just make sure no one takes it.
That
Of course I
happened
do.
to me.
Yeah,
Somebody
okay.
stole my
So
name on Kit.
and that's what I
So
want to
yeah,
avoid. And like when I teach people how to like grow their channels, I tell them before you even start figuring out what your name is, you need to start understanding like have each social media locked down before you even pick your name. Because if you're going to be Hykiri 54, well, guess what? Someone might actually have Hykiri 54 on Instagram, and you just screwed yourself because you decided to put that in your Twitch name. You just decided to make that your brand. Your brand is important. It is a
oh
placeholder, and I
yeah,
tell people your digital footprint's important as well. So I'll when somebody tells me their name, I'll be like, well, look it up on Google. You Google search ex-military man, guess what? I own all of it. It's all mine. My website, everything. I have my own website, ex-military man website, exmilitaryman.com. Everything is owned that you'll see ex-military man. You won't see EX and ex-military man. You'll just see my
all
name
right.
scrolled all the way down because I own my own name. I own everything on it. Like that's all mine. So no one can impersonate me. No one can sit there and change anything. No one can sit there and do anything more than that because it's all my stuff. It's very difficult to do that. And it's very difficult to find a name that'll actually come across each and everything across all platforms.
I see. I gotta say, you have a very keen sense of self when it comes to branding. And I really tons of respect for that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people
That
do
means
not
a
do
lot
that.
from coming from you.
Oh no, God. For me though, you mentioned the branding thing, and to me, it's a little bit harder. Than it would be for you, because according to American laws, if I was to brand my name and get it copyrighted to where some random person can't have my name, they consider that as me having a job, and I would
Yeah,
lose my disability and my SSI. So that's why I have to limit
of
my
course.
income on Twitch because for every penny I make after I set the threshold, they take $3 off my disability. And that's not enough money. What I make on Twitch, isn't enough money to sustain medical bills.
Right.
Hey, little guy.
I'm doing an interview, guys. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Sorry. They're giving me a happy Father's Day Chipotle right now. Sorry.
No
Thank you
problem.
guys. Thank you guys so much, babies. Thank you so much.
But for us, like me and Zam, it's harder for us. We have to actually kind of limit ourselves because the government will take our disability if we make too much here. And it's really no other word for it,
Yeah,
It's just really shitty.
I agree. I agree
Because
with
there
you.
are people out there in this world that would rather sit at home and connect the chat for doing nothing, and they're not actually, disabled while I'm over here wanting to work
Yeah,
and being punished for that. It's a really old system
I
and they
agree.
need to reevaluate it. It's
I
just
would
not
totally agree.
current.
That actually sucks for you guys, and that's very annoying.
Have you ever met or come across other disabled streamers?
Um, well, I know George Caso has one arm. I know that there's a couple people that I've met or not met that I've seen that play Call of Duty where they use like a blower where they don't have like the capabilities of being able to where they like blow and shoot at the same time. They blow air into a tube and they can shoot and stuff. They move the nozzle like a joystick, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. I've seen stuff like that as well. I think is yeah, Sir Nubs. Sorry, they um hold on.
No problem.
Let me make sure my mic is plugged in. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Um. So.
Oh,
But yeah,
hello,
no, that's
Lipsy. I didn't
what
see
was
the
it?
chat. Lipsy Unicorn?
Yeah, that's Let's See
Yeah,
Unicorn.
Lipsy's awesome.
She is. She
Yeah.
really is.
Hello. But yeah, that's the thing the government needs to reevaluate, this kind of thing. Because, I put a lot of work to this,
I
and
agree.
so does Zale, and it's just, not fair that, I have to deduct money because I'm in a wheelchair,
Yeah, I
It's
completely
horrible.
agree.
I mean, me and Zale, honestly, we're not even legally married. Because if we get married, the government sees us
Shoot, yeah, that's
as
crazy.
healed. Like, we're no longer handicapped. And I'm like, wow, that's just that easy, man. I would have signed that paper many years ago, you know?
That's actually really terrible. I can't believe that. That's really terrible. I didn't even know that. That's something that like I never even would have put two and two together on.
Um, so what do you say to somebody who is, I don't know, 5 years into Twitch and decided they're moving a kit for their different payout?
Can you give me a scenario of what they're looking like in terms of viewers and everything else?
They have, they're partnered with an average of 300 viewers.
And they want to go over?
Yes, only for
Your
the
take,
payout.
I really think that if you're gonna do something like that, you better be prepared for the fact that when you leave and it does not work out, don't be upset when you come back and no one's there when you come back. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's
See,
realistic.
I've recently had problems with my team. Our leader took a year break for some personal reasons, and that's very understandable.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but she's very upset as far as Twitch is concerned because they didn't remove her from the carousel and her viewership dropped, and they lowered her payout to a normal partner's payout because she ain't meeting the requirements for a higher
Right.
payout. And you can't blame Twitch.
No,
I mean, I'm sorry for what happened, yes, but this is a real world.
I
It'd be
agree.
the same with any job that you would have, whether you're on Twitch or working construction or whatever.
Yeah.
No job's going to say, hey, you took a year off, but here's everything you missed. It don't work
Yeah.
that way. You
No, and
know?
I think that brings up a good point. I think mental health is obviously extremely important when you're doing this kind of thing. I promote as best as I can good positive mental health, positive
Right.
gaming, things like that. And especially in my Discord, I have an event section where people can just talk to me about the things that they're going through. I don't like it aired out on Twitch, so obviously, like I gear it towards my Discord, so that way we can
Yes.
have a more personal interactions. So generally, when stuff like that does happen, and people will tell me that they stream for a month and then all of a sudden they disappear for a month and then the 3 or 4 followers that they had aren't there anymore. It's like, well, you can't just sit there and do that as well. You have to understand that, like I said, like we both said, it's a business. You stop your business for a couple months, people are gonna expect you to be closed. That's just the way it is. Like your business is closed. I mean, you can't just like I get it, people go through things, but look, I mean, I'm going through like tons of stuff too. I don't talk about a lot of things I go through, but I'm look for explosives for a living. You know what I mean? Like it's like yeah, I look for explosives for a living. That's what I do for my job. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stress on me whenever I'm sitting there going through and there's actually like a legitimate threat that I have to go search. And it's like, yeah, but I come home and I still get on the stream and I like you could ask these guys, I'm on 6 days a week. 6 days a week. I
Yeah.
work 14-hour shifts. You know what I mean? Like there's no like I know I try to say this in the nicest way possible, but typically I say there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuses for you just not to be able to show up and expect
I
people to just
agree.
be there for you. There's no excuses. I have
Yeah.
kids. I have a job. I have a life. My grandmother passed away. 2 days later, I was still streaming. Yeah, you go through things, but you know what I mean. Like other people are going through things as well. Like I don't know. To me, I just see things differently. But my stress level, I can handle a lot more stress than most other people can because I'm in a lot more stressful situations. I think
Right.
in generally. So you've just got to learn how to overcome that.
I think mental health is a very big issue that a lot of people still don't take seriously. Like, I see a lot of people, and that's not just on Twitch. I mean, like, in the world as a whole,
Yeah.
see mental health as a joke. Like, a lot of things lately also, people use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
And I hate that because, a lot of you, that's what I'm saying. But
Go
I
ahead.
mean, it
I, I
is or it
I
is.
probably agree with you.
Gotta own to your shit.
Yeah,
Stop crying. Man up,
I agree.
but
I
I
agree.
mean, it's just people nowadays and the generation that's coming, I feel are so soft. They're just so,
I
and
agree. I agree.
I get so much hate for this. But especially when it comes to the crippled community, like all these kids are so sheltered and so damn soft. Like we had a viewer who came in my channel. He was like, Hykiri, do you consider me a friend? I'm like, no. Consider you an acquaintance. I met you 2 months ago. I don't know your name. I know how old you are, and I know you like wrestling. To me, that's not a friend. That's an acquaintance. And that's not a bad thing.
No,
I
I agree.
can't be friends with the world. There are some people that I'm more close to
Hmm.
that I do consider friends. But, and he was visually upset that I said that. And he got so upset He said he sent his mom to message me, and she was demanding that I apologize to him. And I'm like, haha, good luck with that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, I'm like, Hykiri is the wrong person to come when your
I
kids
you
are
know
whining.
well
I'm sorry.
I had a mod. I'm not gonna say any names, but I had a mod that I'm trying to be more organized. So again, running things like a business, and I told all my mods, hey, like guys, by March, this is in January. By March, I'm going to have everybody move to Discord. I'm not messaging you guys on 10 different platforms just to get a hold of you guys. If you don't go to Discord, then I'm gonna take you off as mod. And I
Yeah.
said this probably for 3 months, and I said on March 1st, if everyone's not in Discord by March 1st. So I let this person know. I said, hey, get on, like, just let you know, just let you know by March 1st, if you're not in Discord, I'm going to be, taking you off as a mod. I don't have Discord. I said, I 100% get, I 100% get that. I said, but just letting you know by March 1st, if you're not in Discord, I'm taking you off as mod. I said this for months straight, months straight. So March 1st at 12:01 a.m., I took that person off as mod, and they were so mad at me because I did that. After me telling that person
What
like
they expect.
15 times, I'm taking you off as mod, and then literally had the same conversation with me in chat. Oh, I like messaging me on Twitch, which I don't want because I don't want 50 different messages through my Twitch, because Twitch platform and messaging is so annoying. Like I can't even message, it's hard to message people in freaking Twitch. But I'm like explaining to this person, like, hey, like if you don't do this, this is gonna happen. And I even said the same exact thing. I told you by March 1st, if you didn't sit there and switch over, by March 1st, you can't be my mod anymore. But I don't have Discord. I said, I get that. I get that. Give me like, but I told you you had to have Discord. That's a requirement. I've been with you since the beginning. I get that. I understand that. But guess what? Now I'm trimming fat. If you guys don't want to sit there and you don't have to mod for me. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like I'm not gonna make you do what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a simple choice. You either get Discord and sit there and participate, or just come in my chat and do whatever the hell you want. Every time I sit there and I'm like trying to control the mods and trying to like, hey, this is kind of like direction I want to go. And she doesn't, and that person doesn't see that. It's like, come on now. Like I can't help you any more than that. Like you either, you could either you don't get to be mod. You can just be a viewer. She took so much offense to it.
Oh, yeah. I
So
like people like that. And like I said, they're just so soft. It's just crazy. And how this generation, is just so whiny. I mean, people tell me all the time, like they'll come to me and they're like, "Is this an act?" I'm like, "No, this is not an act.
oh my
This is what you see
gosh.
here. It's gonna be off camera and it's gonna be on camera. I'm not a character. This is like, whether you know me in real life. If you think I'm an asshole, then go somewhere else. But I'm not gonna baby you. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to entertain the people that enjoy me. And if I'm not for you, click another button, bro. You're not hurting my feelings.
Yeah,
You're
I
not hurting
agree.
my feelings at all. I did this for almost 4 months, where the only viewer was my wife. I'll talk to myself again before I baby you. I mean, that's just how it is. What would you say to somebody of that mentality that's looking to get into streaming?
I mean, this is you literally. I tell people all the time, like if you're not prepared to do work, you're not gonna grow. Like don't like I said, like if you really think that it's just going to be turning on the live button, I tell this to my guys all the time. It is not just about turning on the live button and just
Yeah,
streaming and thinking that you're just going to become somebody. It's so much more than that. I even say like, I go to so much detail. I go over statistics. I go over everything. I even go over, I give facts. Like I'm not talking to chat obviously right now, but 7 to 10 seconds is all you have. So not only that, you have to make up for your delay as well.
Yes.
Generally, like you have to make up for it. And unfortunately, like I will focus more on the game on my chat than I will gameplay. If that means I die, then I die. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
same.
That's just the way it is. So 7 to 10 seconds is what you have. You know, you have to grow. And most people think that they're so good. They think that they're Shroud and they think that they're all these like amazing players. And then they sit there and they're like wondering why they're not getting the viewership that they deserve because they think they're really good. But that, you know, you're competing with guys that are just I would go to those people to watch good gameplay and not you. You know what I mean? Like, so why would I sit there? You know, they can get away with ignoring chat, but we're coming into an era right now where there is the Swiss Army knife of streamer, where you can do really good with gameplay, do really good with chat, do really good with being able to bring in production value, and have all three of those things combined, and that's what you're competing with now. Because I always tell people all the time, if me and you played the exact same game, Hykiri, we looked exactly the same in every way. But even just on the base level of our Twitch page, why would let's just say your Twitch page is just blank, has donation button, which I always can't stand when I all I see on your you figured out how to put a donation
Yes.
button on there, but you couldn't figure out how to put on panels. Like it blows my
Yeah,
mind.
right?
You know, it blows my
Yeah.
mind. Put some effort into it. But let's just say you had just a donation page and then you go to mine. We're both the exact same type of players, exact same in every way. But mine is done the way mine's done and yours is done
Come to you
without just
because you're more interactive. You're not going to enjoy what you're doing. And here you're here for a buck. And you're saying donate. There's
yeah,
nothing else on this
exactly.
page other than donate.
Yep.
I'm going, sorry, but I don't care how good you are. I'm out of here.
But it just shows more effort. It puts you put that effort into it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like you expect to sit there and get all these people to your channel, but you don't want to have a camera. It's okay if you don't want to have a camera, but at least put a freaking character on there, a one-dimensional character that's just sitting there chatting for you. Something. I always say something's better than nothing. You know what I mean? So if you don't even want a camera, that's fine. Be a VTuber. Be a VTuber and have a character there instead. Don't sit there and expect people to want because like the first thing I know when I go to someone's channel and they don't have a camera, they're on Xbox or they're on PlayStation. That's what
Yes.
that tells. That's what translates to me. I'm not gonna watch somebody that's on Xbox or PlayStation. That's just like if they don't have at least a camera. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to interact with the streamer that I'm talking to, and a lot of people just don't
I
want to
do
do
not,
that.
I will not follow a person or does not use a microphone. I'm sorry, but if you're not using a mic, I can't do it, man. I already run my show. I can't run yours, you know? Now, the webcam. The webcam, I think, depends on how interactive you are,
I agree with that. I think personality
but,
goes a long way.
and I'm probably going to hate for this, my hang up is the VTubers. I can't,
well,
I can't, there are some, there are a couple. One for instance, his name is Toonsley, but it's different because his whole setup is a VTube. His background's a VTube. His animations are a VTube. Everything you see on screen is a VTube. It's like
so you're saying
complete
he brings
interactive.
production value.
Yes, yes.
That's what I'm
You
talking
know,
about.
and that's totally cool because it's like watching a cartoon. But if it's somebody that's just throwing an image up there with no animation, no mouth moving, just a still animated character or whatever, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna watch you. I don't even care if you're talking. I want to see you. I
I
always
agree.
tell people, for me, when it comes to streaming, it's 10% game, 90% streamer. I can care less what you're playing. I don't like Rust, I love my buddy Warpig. Warpig, is it's not a game I enjoy. It wasn't my cup of tea. But I mean, I won't interact there, or I won't
Correct.
support him because he is a good streamer. What he does is good and holds good conversation. I'm here
Yeah,
for the streamer. I
I
can
agree
play
with that.
whatever game at home, and I know some people do come here, for the game, and that's why I throw it. But it's not a priority. I
I
mean,
agree with
like
that.
it's funny 'cause when I first started my WWE records, it was a learning experience for me because um, how do I say this? When I first attempted my world records, I didn't even do this thing. I was just winning and didn't even think about it. And then a friend of ours mentioned I should try it. Oh, okay, cool. So I gave it a go. And for my worst world record, everybody in chat was like cheering me on and wanted me to win that second world record. I am the most hated person that plays a wrestling game. And everybody that comes into my chat is here to see me lose. And don't get me wrong, that was hard to take in. And I
Fair
never
enough.
had somebody come in here and tell me you want to see me fail. Aside from my family.
That's that's literally
That's,
my
but,
whole entire followers. All my followers do that to me.
you know, I mean, I told them, hate me all you want, just give me your view. If you want to see me
Hey,
lose,
hey, that's true.
sit right here. I'll take your view. Because it's going to be a while. But, you know, uh, I guess spinning off of that, what is your take on competitive gaming?
So, I think competitive gaming is relevant because of like esports, things like that. I think it's a really good thing. I think it's good for. I think anything that brings more traction just to video games in general is good for the streamer, good for everybody. In terms of like them as a streamer, they're terrible streamers. I think that they produce good gameplay, but they're terrible
Yes.
streamers. They're fun to watch, but they most of them don't interact with chat, which I think, like I said, when you're dealing with, like I said, the Swiss Army knife of streamers that are coming in, a lot of them have pretty decent gameplay and can talk to chat at the same time. The primary focus isn't on that.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about just straight up, just really, really sweaty people that don't pay attention to chat, your chat better be the most interactive chat ever for you to not have to pay attention. That's how I
It's
view it.
it's very hard. Like for me, like when I play wrestling, I find it's harder for me to interact with chat when I'm playing wrestling. When I'm playing Rocket League, it's easier. Even though I'm
Okay.
doing rank, I guess my focus is more on that on Rocket League, on chat, and I think, but I understand it. Like, I mean, there is that divided focus. I guess it's a really hard thing to balance.
I understand
Trying
that.
to keep chat current and reading and doing whatever it is. It's a hard thing, but I think competitive gaming is great. I love competition. I mean, I have horrible anxiety. I have horrible anxiety and sometimes depression. But you put me in like a competitive scenario, and I am like, I'm gold.
That's good.
No
That's really good.
anxiety. For a long time there, my doctors and my grandmother were like, he needs to stop gaming. And it's making him too anxious. I'm like, that's when I'm chill. When I'm in my zone, that's me. There's no anxiety or anything. It's just me in my zone doing what I love to do,
Yeah,
And I think competition is great. I
I
think
agree.
competition should be something everybody is into. Because people don't understand. It's okay to lose. It's okay to lose. It really is okay. It's okay to say that I'm not number one. But that's the problem. Everybody wants to be number one.
Yeah, I
And
agree
when
with
they're
that. I
not
mean,
number one, they cry about it.
yeah.
Everybody wants that participation trophy.
Well, that's why like I stopped playing competitively on Call of Duty. I noticed that the second I stopped doing that and focusing more on chat. I mean, I still play competitively, don't get me wrong, but I multitask a lot better. I haven't played Call of Duty in like 6 months and got challenged recently to a 1v1, and I'm still pretty decent at it. And someone lost really, really bad and became Helen Keller for a bit and couldn't sit there and respond to chat
I've met those.
or see the see the chat for a while. And I don't know what happened. Some you interviewed him actually recently, and he learned that Daddy still got it. And no, it was got your six challenge me too. He learned the hard way, I think.
What would you say to
Oh,
somebody that's not okay with losing?
I mean, that's part of life, though. If you think about it, like it's part of life. I mean, to lose means that you start to like to lose is to learn. Like that's how you get better. Like that's I mean,
That's the only way to get better.
you have to experience loss to be able to actually grow from what you're doing. I mean, grow as a person even as well. So I mean, I feel like they have to go hand in hand.
And it's okay to lose, though. I think schools need to teach that more.
Yeah,
In physical education and in sports. It's okay to take a loss. And I think a lot of parents need to help kids understand that too.
I
You
agree.
should always try your best, and if you lose, you get up. You dust
I
off
agree.
the scratches, and you move on. You either quit or you keep going. But if you quit, it's on you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hold your hand and tell you you're still a big boy. You're still a winner because you're not.
yeah.
You quit. You know. Um, what would you say? What's your opinion on esports?
I'm actually like kind of like helping out with a esports organization called Skyfox Studio, and they're going to be pushing out esports players and esports teams as well that got hired recently to actually grow their content creation side of things, and also grow their actual esports teams as well. So I'm I'm for it, obviously, and I think man, my mic is still cutting out. That's so weird. Hold on. Hmm. All right, come on. Got a second. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear me now? Is that better? I don't know what's going on with my mic tonight. Um, but yeah, I think it's necessary. I mean, I do think it's necessary. I think it's good for, like I said, I think it's good for game. I just went to DreamHack, so I mean, you got to see a lot of competitive players. You got to see a whole different side of because I'm so used to the streaming side of things. I never really have dabbled into the esports side of things or even just like watched it. It's actually pretty fun, and I think it's good to have an idea of how to sit there and um, an idea of what's going on in that side of things as well.
Um, what is something that you have taken upon yourself to learn how to do just for your stream? or community?
For my community, I think the biggest thing that most people get from my stream, I think is community, and I think is teaching them how to grow their stream if they're really serious about it. I think most of them probably kind of give up. I think about 80% of them really don't either accept what I'm saying or accept the fact that they actually have to do as much work as I say they have to do, because they'll sit there and apply two or three things, but not everything. And then they expect to grow and they're not growing and they're wondering why. I try to, I do karaoke nights with everybody. I do, like they're bringing it up right now. I do karaoke nights with everybody. I literally, I do. I try to bring multiple elements into my channel. And again, positive gaming. I'm part of two way as well, which two way also helps with positive gaming. It's about like good behavior on stream. Like basically, like you won't see me acting like a crazy person or rage quitting and stuff like that. I just don't do that. So it's definitely like I don't know. I want to show people like what I can bring and when they come to my stream, I don't want them to be thinking about what went on that day. I want them to be just focused on me, and they can make fun of me, they can troll me, they can do all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
And that's okay. I don't mind that because I can handle a lot. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. But I think for the most part, I do try to you know I, I do try to incorporate that with everybody else on my stream.
What would you say to somebody who's getting frustrated that their stream isn't growing?
That they need to come to me and have me go over everything, and I'll tell them the truth, because I think what will happen is we'll go over like 20% of it, then all of a sudden I say, hey, this is not working out for you. Because there's people that, like, I go over statistics, like there's like I tell people all the time, you can want to, like, I don't, this is going to be controversial, so I don't, a lot of people don't agree with this. I do not tell people play what makes you happy. That is the worst advice any partnered streamer or streamer that's not doing well to give someone. It unfortunately is sad that I have to say that, but a lot of people want to believe this fantasy. Because do you remember the game? I know I give this example all the time. Do you remember the game Anthem?
Yes.
That game is dead. That game is dead. There's 30 concurrent viewers total on Twitch currently. Why the hell would I say play what you want if that's your favorite game to play? Why would you sit there and take that advice? That's terrible advice. I'm literally setting you up for failure. Now, I'm not saying you have to sit there and play the most award winning games ever, but playing Anthem is literally going to kill your stream. Playing Dauntless, like those niche games that most people don't even know about, it's going to kill your stream. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. If you want to capitalize on your big games, you don't have to do it all the time, but buy a mainstream game right when it comes out and be the first streamer to stream it. You'll get 10 follows just based on that. And once you get those 10 follows, you'll probably keep like two that are going to like who you are, because it's all about presenting yourself to the follower, right?
Yeah, you gotta keep it current.
Right. So why in the world would I sit there and give advice? Because partners do that crap all the time. They do that crap all the time. Oh, play what you want. Don't sit there and worry about what games you play. It's like, no, dude. Like, you're giving them terrible. You could do it. Every partner streamer could probably do it. They can get away with playing whatever game they want, and those people still stay there because they built such a huge baseline, huge base of their stream. They're just there for the streamer at that point. You know what I mean? Like, that it's terrible advice to sit there and do that, though. You know what I mean? So I tell people all the time, stop playing that stupid game that nobody knows about. Like, stop. Like, it's not like, I get that you like it a lot, but it's dead. And unless you're like the number one person on that game, you got to stop playing it.
Yes.
That's just the reality of it.
I think unless you're exceptionally good at that game, you
Right.
have to keep it current.
Correct.
I think there's an exception for certain games, like Diablo,
Yeah.
because people still play the older Diablos because there's tons of things you can do in the game.
Right.
There are tons of content. games like Smite, where it's, there's always going to be competitive force,
Right.
or Call of Duty. But even with Call of Duty, they release new games to keep it current.
Right. And Lipsy does bring up a good point. Your personality does carry a lot of the weight. So Lipsy and Sideburns, like I have to give Sideburns credit because he will literally make an entire production and not even play the game he's intended on playing. You know what I mean? He'll make it all about the follower, which and so does Lipsy, but Lipsy will troll her followers. Like they all have a different thing that they do.
Right.
And they could probably get away with it because again, their personality means like is huge. Their personality is so big that they can sit there and hold their stream because of themselves. Now that's different. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about brand new streamers that are right off the freaking, right off
Yes.
the pavement of running off. They can't sit there and play games like that because they are not big enough to sit there and do that. They're
No,
not
when
able
you're
to
new, you
because they don't have
can't.
established anything.
There's no way. When you're a new streamer, you gotta get your name out. It's gonna be hard if you're just starting off and you're playing Mario. I was not love a good Mario. Unless you're speed running,
Yes,
I'm gonna
exactly.
watch you.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Unless you have that big personality to keep me entertained because Mario's as old as I am. So I don't see everything there would be to be about Mario. But I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta keep it current. It's easier to watch, have been made, or people know who you are, that you have a nice following on different networks and social platforms. But I think, yeah, you gotta consider it.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but, 'cause you hate the money, but to an extent you have to invest in that. You
Well, I
really do.
so I could explain to you how I have things. I have two editors that I pay for, and I have someone that does clips. I pay for all that. I have a community manager who I also give money to. I have it to where it's actually an established business. So a portion of anything I earn automatically goes to those people.
Right.
Now I can edit myself. That's not the issue. The issue is time. How much I want to dedicate to those specific things. Now I can learn to edit. I'm perfectly capable of doing those things. I'm perfectly capable of learning how to edit. But that takes away from my kids. That takes
Right.
away from other things I need to take care of. You know what I mean? My community manager, I just hired her, Saxy. Saxy, you know who she is. She helps me with just like kind of like
Sexism.
the day to day, but she gets a portion of anything I've earned. She's already made, I think, like what, $50 since she's been with me already in the last like since I hired her. You know what I mean? But she gets 10% of anything I earn on tips. You know what I mean? Like that's how I do things, and that's I want there to be. I run it like a business. This is how I want to do things. Like, and this is just like I said, it's more recent, obviously, but like I try to do everything I can to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
have a
think,
team. I have a full production. I even have people that give me advice. I actually give people that like actually will come and give me advice, and we will sit down and have a meeting, and it'll be a meeting of like 5 or 6 people to sit there and learn how to grow, or I'll have one-on-one meetings with people and
see,
sit there
that's
and
my
talk about how
dream. My
that. But
dream of having.
but you could do that now, Hykiri. You bring in some of your like the way I look at it is you bring in some of the people that you've been with either like since the beginning, or bring in a couple of them, hold a meeting, put them in a position where you put them in charge of something. Again, you have to make sure they're like I've had to weed out a lot emotionally because a lot of them emotionally are just all over the place, and you got to trust those people in your stream. Obviously you can't
Yeah.
just hire anyways. That's why I have like an
Yeah.
application like even on my website I have an application for mods. Like I have it to where it's like I'm literally like living it like a business, and that's how I treat it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be my mod, you have to apply. If you will get accepted, if you're good, if you're not, then you won't. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. Like I have to have people that are of sound mind that understand what my goals are. That I want to become a partner streamer. I'm trying to sit there and grow. I'm trying to sit there and become my own person, and I definitely try to sit there and turn this into a what is it, the little like mind thing where I just have it all distributed out to where I can have the help I need. That's what I want. I have a guy that does my graphics too as well. You know what I mean? Like
See,
I try to keep.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, yeah, yeah. No, you're good.
And but that's that's kind of that's what I'm working towards. I would love to be in the situation where I can pay Vale. Don't tell her I said that, because Vale's my biggest supporter. I mean, I know she's watching, but don't tell her, I appreciate her.
Of
Can't
course.
have her ego growing. You gotta keep her in line. But no, I would love to pay Vale and my friend Jerome. Jerome has been a huge help to me, with Twitch and so, I noticed Sexy helps you,
Hmm.
and I would love to have Sexy help me. I'd be able to pay her.
Yeah.
Hit Sexy. But no, I just now found myself a graphic artist that
Good,
I can
good.
depend on that, knows what I like, knows my style,
Of
and
course.
now I'm seeking out a video editor because, like you said, all these things I am capable of doing on my own time, but that's the problem. I can't. Otherwise,
I agree.
I'll do I make my layouts, but I mean, right now we have like no help with nurses and my aides,
Yeah.
I have no help right now. So it's all of my grandparents. So, my time is get up in the morning when I'm in my wheelchair by around 3 o'clock in the afternoon because, grandparents got to cook,
Yeah.
keep the house up, and I get in my wheelchair, I eat breakfast and wait for my medicines to work to chill my anxiety and chill my pain out. And then it's, time to start the stream up. And when the stream is done, I give myself 30 minutes. That's an hour to do tweets or
Yeah.
Discord thank yous or
I know exactly what you're
do
talking
shout
about.
outs,
I mean,
And
but
then when I'm
that's
done
like,
with that, it's time to go to bed.
yeah.
So I think, and honestly, I think a lot of that is where people fail. They're scared to ask for help, and we all
I
need
need,
help,
I need help.
no
Yeah,
matter who
trust
you are.
me.
We need help.
Everyone knows this. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't function, I don't think, without the people I have in place right now. I mean, I could do it. It's just
yeah,
it wouldn't run as smoothly. Let's just put it that way.
exactly. Yes,
And that's 100% to Saxy,
yeah. I mean, like
and
the first
Sparkle Cat.
hour of my streaming afternoons, if Val isn't here, or Throne or Pig,
Yeah.
it's hard because I'm literally working on a 4-inch piece of a table that holds my controller, it
Oh, I
holds
see
my
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
microphone, and it holds my mouse. So I turn one hand, my mouse type shoutouts, my other hand's gaming, and hopefully we
That's
don't drop
hard.
nothing.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
struggle
hard.
sometimes, but I mean, that's my goal to find me, the people I can count on for their own individual task, I would never want to like overload somebody,
Of course, of course,
so
of
I find
course.
myself,
But
Vera to mine and Vera
and I and
streaming as well. So when she's streaming or we're co-streaming, we need somebody that's here to shout out for us since,
yeah,
she can't.
of course.
Let's say the graphic designer and the video editor and community manager. And I would love to be in that zone to where I can, maybe pay them. But
Yeah,
they deserve money for their time.
of course. No,
Joking aside. Vale's an amazing person.
Well, I
She
definitely
puts up
didn't
with my
start off
bullshit,
by doing that, just to let you know. It
you
wasn't
know,
always
and
like I was able to just give people money. It wasn't like that at all.
right,
But once I started asking for help and getting them, like, I told them what my goal was. So the idea was, hey, if you guys can stick with me until and just do this with me, be my ride or die until I sit there and start making more of an income. I will start paying you guys on a regular basis to keep you guys around if I'm able to sit there and make that money every month. And that's kind of how I do things. But like I said, I also surround myself with a lot of other content creators that are like-minded like me that are already established as well. Like Lipsy and Sideburns, they've been doing this a lot longer than I have. And so I go to them a lot for like just simple advice, like things that I might not know. You know what I mean? Like if I'll run ideas off of them, or I sit there and we'll collaborate. I do things like that a lot to also get a different perspective on things as well. Because
right,
it's great that you're doing things for yourself, but you also have to sit there and get different perspectives. The things that they've learned that I don't know because I'm so new. I am new. I've only been doing this for a year since April of last year. That's not that long
yeah,
in comparison to other streamers, and I'm already at 2,400 followers already. So I'm doing something right. But I also know to sit there and I won't harass them or bug them, but I will go to them and ask them for something if I need to. If they want to sit there, and I think there's a mutual respect there because I think the reason why Lipsy would even be here right now is because there's a mutual respect. Slyburns is here, even though he pretends to hate me. You know, there's a mutual respect. You know what I mean? Like because I do put so much work into this, and I do make a good production. I do talk to my people, and I do interact with everybody. There is definitely a mutual respect there that they have for me because I really put in a lot of work. And this is something, like I said, I will be at work having interview or having meetings with these people while I'm at work, while I'm waiting to,
yeah.
to go get called for something. You know what I mean? So like that's how far I'm willing to take things with how I do things here. And this is something I've kind of become more of a like addicted to because it's something I really want to make work.
That's a great and respectable way to do it. You gotta have you have to have a plan,
Yeah.
and you have to have a mindset on what that plan's going to do, and the pros and cons. Because I don't care how good you are at something, there's always going to be a mistake. That's why it's good to have people there. You see if
Yeah.
you're see something, you know.
Right.
Then I think, I think so you gotta look at it. This doesn't run off of one person.
Correct.
It takes people.
A
It
hundred
takes
percent.
teamwork. That honestly, going back to the gaming, talking about gaming a while ago, but that's the biggest thing about gaming today, and that spills over into streaming as well. People don't understand how to work as a team. There is no teamwork. Everybody's always out for what's best for themselves. And it's so
Right.
sad.
I
It's
agree.
so sad to see that.
Well, that's why I don't care. Like everyone that comes in, I don't care if they're a streamer or not. I'm not intimidated by anybody. Realistically, everyone's going to filter to where they're going to filter to. I'm not the best streamer in the world. There's going to be someone that's better than me that maybe
Yes.
these guys might want to go to. And that's okay with me. I'm okay with that. And you have to be okay with that as a
Yes.
streamer. Like you have to have the confidence that you can sit there and do this. And if like all the people that were here when I first started aren't even here now. I have a handful of them that are still left, but it's like I've changed hands. So there's been so many hands changed in between the time of
Yeah.
I say it's like a pyramid scheme almost. Like you see one person leave Twitch for 3 months and all of a sudden they filter to everybody else. It's a pyramid scheme. I mean it works that way. So the second you sit there and you let everything get to you and you stop streaming, it filters all those people that you had filter away. Everything goes away. You know what I mean? So that's why I said it's important, like I said, to have people that you support and that support you back. The way I support everybody is by giving them advice. I cut 6 months of just doing things mindlessly and save them 6 months of work that they have to do. And they might hear it all the time, but at least I help them. And even though they might not see that it saved them 6 to 8 months of work of just doing things stupidly, and running themselves to the ground, that still helps them in the long run. They might not see it that way, but that's how it helps.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. It has to. You have to have all the cogs in the machine turning together.
Yeah,
And if one spins off, you know. So, what is one of the things since you have been streaming that you have learned from your community?
that I've learned from my community. Um, Honestly, I actually really appreciate my community. The amount of support I've gotten. I went through some troubled times when I first started streaming because I had friends that I streamed with in the beginning that got really upset because of my success. Um, Finding new friends, new people that are like-minded or that want to be around you really helped me through everything. And so that's what I get from my community, and that's why I do so much for them, if that makes sense.
What would you say to a streamer that is afraid to raid somebody out of fear their viewers will prefer that streamer over them?
I always tell people all the time, if you're afraid of your viewers going to someone else, you shouldn't stream.
Yes.
That is just 100% being 100% real with everybody. Stop streaming if you're afraid of your viewers leaving you. Stop,
Yep.
because it's going to happen all
All
the
the time.
time. All the time. It's going to be a
Yep.
constant cycle.
A raid.
I literally only have to just literally wait till that streamer stops streaming, because guess what? I'm going to be the consistent factor every single time.
Yes.
Every single time. No one's more consistent than me. So if they want to go somewhere else, I just have to wait for that person to have a, like, not to be mean, but have a mental breakdown or something, them not be able to handle streaming anymore. And guess what? They're right back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like people can't handle this. This is not something that's easy to do. People cannot handle streaming. It is not easy.
It's very stressful.
Mentally it
Yes.
is. The amount of rejection you get on a daily basis just by like you're gonna get it all the time. It's gonna get to you in one way or another. Not me, but I'm saying like other people. You know what I mean? Like that's like they will break and they will not come back, and they'll
Yes.
come back 8 months later, and then guess what? You weren't consistent enough. So guess what? That I have all your viewers. That's like it's kind of dog eat dog world in that sense, but it's like I just have to wait you out. It's not. It's a matter of was it a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You know what I mean? Like
It's true.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, that's just me being realistic. Like, that's
It
just a
is. I
real
mean,
reality.
yeah. I mean, it's not gonna be the raid to this random person
Mm-mm.
that makes them leave your community. If they're gonna leave, they're gonna leave regardless. And it won't be because of a raid. I just always thought that that's like the dumbest thing I ever heard. Like, why would you do that? It makes no sense. Like, because you subtract the raids from your community, how would you ever grow? Nobody's gonna see you.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's another thing too. I talk about growth a lot too as well. Rating isn't just about growth as either. Social media is a really big aspect of that. Like posting daily, posting clips, posting pictures of yourself. Like I always say, like Instagram, I break down each and every social media to everybody. TikTok and YouTube shorts are meant for your quick clips that you have under a minute long to get some traction to that. Your Twitter posts are for your daily interactions and to sit there and promote those videos on that platform. And then Instagram is behind the scenes, the things that you're doing behind the scenes,
Yes,
and posting some clips as well. There's literally so much that people aren't utilizing. I'll go to someone's stream, they're telling me they're a streamer, but they're having trouble growing, and they don't have one of the four platforms that they need to sit there and grow. I'm like, dude, that tells me like a good portion of that right there. You need all four platforms. It's just the reality of it. You need all four platforms. I
that's
mean, you
true.
have to. And the only reason why I wouldn't raid is because people have me tabbed up. And that's the only reason. If I decide not to raid, it's because there's so many people that have me tabbed and they let me know, hey, I'm going to have you tabbed up. for the next couple days, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to probably raid tonight, but I'll raid next time. Or you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like the same. Lipsy was kind of talking about that a little bit too. That's the reason why she won't raid sometimes as well, because we both like I literally tab her up every single day. Like it's just the way it is. Like that's
Yeah.
just part of that. Like I said, mutual respect.
What? How would I word this? When you look for a stream team, what would be your expectations from that
It
team?
can't it can't be a follow for follow, support for support group at
Yeah.
all. At all. It needs to be something where it's just about community and that's it. There's no
Yes.
requirement. There's no nothing else. That doesn't mean that you stream me, you raid to me this time and I raid to you next time. We're not going to do raiding parties. None of that. Your job in general, if you're going to be part of a stream team, it only is supposed to add 1 to 5% value to your stream in terms of like people being you being discovered. It's not meant to sit there and just be this fix all for your stream. You can be a part, like she like Lipsy's a part of Spock Nation. It adds value to her stream. It just adds value. I'm not saying it's going to sit there and add like 50% of
Right.
following from your stream, because if you're always rating the same people, all you guys are just going to be muddied up together. It's good to just sit
Yes.
there and like, yeah, it's good to have that. And when someone from Regiment wants to raid to me, that's great. I'm always really happy about it, because I'll find someone on Regiment to sit there and raid to as well. It will happen every once in a while, but there's times I don't need to do that either. It's very small discoverability. I only say it adds 1 to 5% value to your stream, but it's still more than nothing. It's better to be part of something than nothing, in my opinion.
I think you can find yourself a healthy balance, but I
Yeah,
think it has to be a community that fits well with yours. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a community that's completely opposite of what you do, because then you're just clashing.
yeah,
You know, you have to have the same mindset, and I think, in my opinion, I look at a stream team like a good place to do like an occasional raid.
hmm,
You're not sure, but more so you do it maybe bi-weekly,
yeah,
a team event to show the whole team you guys are doing something,
yeah,
whether it's a game or just chatting with a movie or YouTube or whatever. You know, just something to show that you unite as a team. I'm not saying you have to do it every day.
yeah,
Like I said, you would just be rating the same people. You just be closing yourself. But I
right.
think doing something together is a good way to make a community. Help grow, you know, show. You know, even just even if it's just to show others that you're allowing them to join you for
Right.
whatever you're playing.
And
You
and
know?
that's how I also network as well. Sometimes I'll raid someone that I think would mesh well with me. Something that Lipsy brought up as well. Raiding to people, I'm very picky on who I raid now. I don't just raid to anybody, and I won't just raid to my community members,
Right.
because I need someone that's going to match my energy and take care of my people. Because the second I raid you, you better be prepared to sit there and take on the full weight of what's going on right at that moment. Like, I'm leaving you with my community. I'm trusting you
Right.
to entertain my community. So I'm very picky now. Like yesterday, the guy was talking to, like, I'm not even kidding, to my guys for like hours. I was like literally was just constantly bringing up the same people all the time, and it's so interesting. Actually, Lipsy gave me that perspective, because and that's something I've learned. Like I said, as a streamer, like that's something I make sure I do. And then Cyburns as well does the same thing. I'm now like picky about who I bring into my community now. I'm not gonna be like raid to someone who's gonna crap all over my guys, or I'm not gonna sit there and raid to someone who's not gonna entertain them. Because the second they're focused on gameplay, like I remember I raided somebody that literally took um like he took like 3 minutes to sit there and respond to my chat and respond to me rating him. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Yes.
dude, like, you tell me all the time that you sit there and you talk and you talk and you talk, but then when I raid you, there's no talking going on. I'm like, okay, well, I'm done doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. That's it for me.
Right.
Like
Yep.
I'm,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like I'm going to be picky every time. So I'll message first. I'll message first and sit there and I'll type in chat real quick about like hey, like what's going on? If they don't respond to me within 7 to 10 seconds, like I would do with my community, because trust me, I'm like that across the board. Today is the only time I've ever ignored chat. But if you go to my stream, the second you message me, you'll hear me within 5 seconds, 90% of the
Yeah, but
time,
I always make
unless I'm really focused on gameplay.
yes.
But then it's like 10 seconds later, like that 10-second mark. You know
I
what I mean?
always make my chat a priority. I always respond to my chat before I do something on the game. Now, I may
Right,
die or my teammate may scream at me for it. But I mean, I believe my community is more important than my game.
right.
And some of our gaming friends that we play Smite with, I often get a Hykiri we're playing right, turn your damn stream off. I'm like, sorry, not gonna happen. And, I'm not doing that. Because I'm here to do. And sometimes, I might miss a play, but I always put my best foot forward into what I'm doing. So, it's not like ignoring my teammates.
Of course.
Just give me 2 seconds to tell somebody hey or say, I'm glad you're doing good. It's not gonna make the game.
Yeah.
I never believe that. And I've had some nasty arguments about that in the last few years. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I always tell them, this is how you met me. This is what I'm doing when you met me. It's not going to change. You know,
Yeah.
what is one of the most memorable moments from your stream?
Memorable moments. Man, probably eating the hottest chip challenge. I ate the hottest chip. That was probably the most
Oof.
memorable because like I literally like was dead for 3 days afterwards. It was just like I don't think I could ever do that. It doesn't matter the amount of subs I did it for. I don't know if I could ever do something like that again.
I had to say our big memory with I'm a huge wrestling fan, and when we found out that wrestling was coming to New Orleans, which I live in Louisiana, and Phil is in Mississippi, so that was a good middle ground, for us to do something together. So when we found out that the WWE was not just coming to New Orleans, but
That's a
with the
big deal.
biggest show of the year, we wanted to go. And then we just got tickets, and we were like, oh, this might cost a buck. And then Val was like, let's just see if the stream would help get the tickets. And I was very hesitant, and I hate doing that, and so I was like, whatever, I'll listen. So we did it, we put up, the goal for tickets, and we raised ticket money to go to WrestleMania. And I gotta
That's
tell you,
cool.
dude,
That's cool.
I will never forget that. When we got backstage, because we
That's
in the
really cool.
Superdome, and I've never been to the Superdome, like never. And I lived in Louisiana, my whole life, and I've never been there. But when we got there, they told us the elevators to get to our seat were in the backstage area. So we went backstage, and we got lost with the elevators. We couldn't
Oh
find the
man.
elevator, and just we're going down the halls, and my uncle's like, Hykiri. I just hear somebody call your name. I'm like, you mean Hykiri? And I'm like, I doubt that, but no. I didn't hear nothing, So we keep on going. And it's like, I swear I just heard your name again. And I do, nobody knows my name. I think you just hear a noise. He's like, just turn around and see. So I turn around, and as soon as I turn my wheelchair around, I hear, oh my God, it is Hykiri. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Daniel Bryan. He's like, Hykiri, dude, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, with me? Dude, you're
That's
my favorite
awesome.
wrestler. I would love a picture with you. He's like, no, dude, all the wrestlers, we know about your world records, how you promote company, and we all watch your stream. Love you, man. You're awesome. He's like, you inspire us to do this every day. And he's like, you gotta come meet the guys. They all would love to
Oh,
meet
that's
you.
cool.
And dude,
That's
he
really
brought
cool.
me in. I met everybody. And everybody knew who I was. Just from my Twitch channel.
That's
I was
so
like,
cool, man.
it's
I love
crazy.
that.
And even to this day, that's like 4 years ago.
That's really
Daniel
cool.
Bryan, Shawn Michaels,
Oh,
they've
really?
all dealt me stuff in
That's
their
so
house
cool,
to my
man.
house.
I love
Like
that. I love
collectibles
that.
and stuff. Then when we were leaving the show, we would get lost again. And we wound up by the busing area, and we ran into Michael Hayes. He's like, hey, Don. That's my real name. And he's like, hey, Don, how do you enjoy beating the boys? I'm like, dude, that's so cool. I'm like, I'm never going to forget this. He said, did you meet everybody? Is there anybody you would love to meet? I was like, well, if it was possible, I'd love to meet The Undertaker. He's my absolute favorite. He's like, well, hold on a minute. So he went and he came back and like, guy, I'm so sorry. He just left. He
Oh,
just got
man.
on the bus to go back to the hotel. I'm like, no. But it was so awesome. Just to meet all these guys. Randy Orton,
I'd
Daniel
love to meet the
Bryan,
Undertaker,
and
though, honestly. I'd love to
this
meet the
man
Undertaker.
himself.
That
I
would be so cool.
recently had a phone call over Skype with two of the bosses from the Endeavor Company and
Okay.
with Stephanie McMahon over Skype just to talk about what I do with wrestling and how I do with the games. Like, so because of this stream, my dreams of meeting people I idolize come true.
That's really
It's
cool. I love it.
amazing. And that's because of all these people. People I never met. But it's still my goal. One day I'll meet the Undertaker.
That's a good
Yeah.
goal. That's a great goal.
So we'll do it one day. But it's things like that. Like, it's not money or fame or fortune. Like, you can't buy stuff like that.
I
Meeting
agree.
people like that. And
Well, experiences, yeah. You
I mean,
can't. It's hard to get those like experiences.
that's all my people. It's crazy. But that's obviously our most memorable moment.
I
Except
like
for
that.
Vail, because she did not get lost. And she went the right way. So she only got to meet like two or three wrestlers. So yeah, but and because of my world records, I didn't get to physically meet the Undertaker. But on my birthday, they arranged for him to call me on Skype, and
That's
that
cool.
was amazing.
That's cool.
I
I like
cried like
that.
a baby. And he even said
I love that. That's
he
such a
did
good. That's
wrestling with me, and that was just amazing. I can't forget stuff like that.
I don't
It's just
blame
so
you. I
cool.
met my idol, Stan Lee, so I understand how that feels.
Yeah, it's just amazing that, I mean, and I never would have thought, just playing a game one day, this would all happen for us. And, it's always nice to hear streamers that get stories like that. It makes it worth it.
Yeah,
So what's the
absolutely.
future looking like for you?
Um, Obviously TwitchCon this year. I'm hopefully I make enough to go. I'm hoping that's going to be a reality this year. We will see. I'm still trying to get a little things like organized, to make sure I can go. Um, but I think the biggest thing right now is obviously I'm still feeling like I'm growing my base out, as silly as that sounds. I know it sounds like I have everything together, but there's so much more I want to accomplish before I sit there and like there's certain things I'm trying to do first before I execute others, if that makes sense. And so the biggest thing is I'm currently looking for decent sponsorships that I think will work well with everybody, and something that'll work well with me, that'll bring more traction to my stream as well as to the guys that, they something they can utilize as well. Because like I said, I'm very picky about who I want to bring to everybody. And so I think that's the other thing. I have obviously I try to schedule a lot of interviews. So I always have interviews going on. That's just something I like doing. It's something I like to talk with other streamers and like, bring up my perspective and bring in other things like, just different perspectives. I think it's good to have and it's good to learn from people like you. There's things that I'll learn from you just by talking to you and I'll be like, okay, I could either incorporate that or replicate or even emulate things like that. Like I like there's certain things that I will like generally about certain things I want to do, so it all depends. I mean there's a lot oh sorry, there's a lot that I'm trying to work on. And so I guess it really is just kind of just that partner push as well as getting enough recognition to where when I go to TwitchCon, it'll be a good experience. There's a lot of like little things, kind of working pieces. Like I can't really talk about too much yet until I know they're like 100% solidified. But once that happens, it'll be good for everybody. But what is your impression of the stream and everything else that I've been doing so
For
far? What do you
yours,
think of everything? Yeah. What do
I
you think
gotta say
about what
I
I
am.
say?
I just have so much respect for you right now.
Thank
I
you.
think we
Wow.
have
Okay, that
the
means a lot.
we have a very similar mindset. I love your setup. Your community's amazing. Sick,
Thank you.
sexy. See, and others I haven't met yet. But they're all great people. So
I
I
love my
think you do a hell
community.
of a
Love them.
job.
You'll
You
you'll
know,
enjoy it this
uh,
year, honestly. Of
doing what you do. I know I don't get to chat a lot, and I'm usually doing other stuff
course.
or eating. Like, so, but no, I like watching you. And since I believe it was Six who introduced me to you,
Yeah.
or it might have been Saxy, or it
Yeah,
was either one of them. But
I think it was 6. He's one of the ones I tried to mentor early on because I wanted him to like understand what it was gonna
yeah,
take,
and ever
and he's
since
been doing
met
a
you,
great job.
I gotta say that I got you're an amazing content creator. I think you're
So is
great at what you
Grim.
do, and I think you have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you.
And I
I
love your
really
lighting too. Purple's my
thank
favorite
you.
color,
What
so
was
I
that?
love your lights back there. Your
You
little
like it?
stream lights, yeah. Yeah, purple's my favorite color, so I
I'm
love
glad
your
you like
lighting.
it. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the background a little bit. But yeah,
that's
no,
awesome.
yeah, this is kind of like my room. I can show it off real quick while I'm in here. So this is the room. Hold on, let me kind of do this real
Yeah,
quick.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so
That's
I've been
awesome.
so
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
That's cool. That's a great setup.
Thank you, thank you,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
Trust me, it did not look like this when I started streaming. So
But yeah, I think first off, thank you for doing this. I
I thank
appreciate
you
that.
for inviting me. Honestly, I'm very honored. Honestly, you trust me, guys. Like, if you guys can give this guy a follow, he's awesome content creator, and great
Thank you.
interviewer. I had a great time with you, man. Honestly, I really did, and I have a lot of respect for you too, man.
I
I mean, you've been in the
appreciate
game
that.
for a
Thank
long
you.
time, and honestly, this is like why we need to have these types of things happening. You know what I mean? It's good to have these conversations. It's good to sit there and talk about these
It
things.
is, I
And if
mean,
and if you ever need help with anything,
I will,
always
yeah.
know to come to me, and I will sit down with you and I'll go over anything you want to sit there and go over. And I'll help you out as best as I can. I'll just give you advice. I mean,
I
you
will
don't have to
definitely
take
take
it,
you up on that.
but
I will
I will
definitely take
definitely
you up
sit
on
down
that.
with you. I make time for every single person in my community. If they need help with something, I always sit there and make time for everybody. So trust me, if trust me, we'll go over whatever you need.
Yeah,
Not saying you
well,
need
it,
help, but I'm just saying, like, if you do want help,
all right, we all
I'm
need help, bro. We all need help. But I will let you get back to your night and uh um anything you would like to ask me.
No, I mean, I actually, I'm kind of curious. How have you been enjoying streaming since you first started? I mean, obviously, you've come a long way. I mean, do you enjoy doing this? Is this your
I
passion? Is
enjoy
this what you're about?
I enjoy streaming as much as I love wrestling. And that's a whole lot.
Okay, I like
So,
that answer.
but,
Does anybody in chat have any questions too
yeah, if
while I
Chad
have you
has
guys on? Does anybody in chat
anything,
or Hykiri's chat as well that have any questions so that way we can ask now that we're here, or
oh,
I guess maybe you're.
I was supposed to tell you to please talk to Grim as he only took 4 out of 5 shots on his stream attack.
Oh,
He owes the
Grim.
stream a shot, and we can't let
I'm
this happen.
I will definitely. Which Grim though? Because there's like 50
Grim
million
Game,
Grims on Twitch.
Grim Gamer.
Grim Gamer. Okay, I just want to make
Yeah,
sure. I just want to make sure which Grim it was, since he has like 50
we
other
can't let
Grims
this
that are
go.
there.
He's got to take that shot.
Do you hear that, Grim? You guys hear that, Grim? I better. Everybody's. Thank you, AI Ronin. Like I said, guys, I'm so sorry. I was talking to Hykiri. I
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Anybody have any questions though? Anybody have any questions while we're still here? Anybody? But yes, but like I said, man, thank you again for inviting me. It really means a lot to me to even just have
I
me a
don't know,
part of your
man.
stream, have me a part of
When
your
I first
community. It really
started,
does.
when I first started streaming, I was extremely shy. And if you ever met me in person, I'd probably still be shy. But streaming has allowed me a lot to see who I am
Good. I
and
like
learn
that.
about me, And
I like
I
that.
think it has helped me. It's helped even my relationship,
I
because
like
this is
that.
a means of how we spend time together. And we don't live together, so this is a good place for us
I
to
like
do
that.
things
That's actually
together.
really sweet. That's really
So
sweet. I love that.
and I've always wanted to do interviews like this. Ever since I was little, and now I'm 40 years old. I've always wanted to do, you know, uh, interviews with people, and thought I'd try it one day. And since then, I've done, other streamers, I've interviewed wrestlers, I've interviewed musicians, politicians, game developers. I've even got to interview a local wrestler that I grew up idolizing. I've had him on
Awesome.
my stream, so I'm going to keep doing this to meet people, learn stuff for myself, and or maybe teach, somebody else something
I try to do
along the
that.
way,
That's what. Um, Actually, I have. Okay. So one second. Okay, Commander Griffin. Thank you, Commander Griffin. 1 second. Got your six asked a question. What is the number one tip you give a streamer? Um, what would
My
you give a
number one
streamer for the
tip
first time? Yep, number
to
one tip.
get somebody to streaming. It'll be a part, an answer in several parts. I think you need to know what you're getting into. Don't expect overnight
Okay.
success. Don't feel bad if next 4 months you're talking to yourself. But the number one rule, I think, is no matter who's watching, never stop talking because you never know who might watch.
That's a good.
So
I like
always
that
talk.
advice.
Always talk. I think that's the
Thank you.
best thing you can do. Is always have your voice out there.
I th- yeah, I like that. That's good advice. That's really good advice. Um, yeah, guys. Any other questions?
Yeah, feel free. Believe me, when it comes to
Anybody from your chat have any questions?
nobody tonight. Normally we get a lot of questions, but as Zell said, that we didn't need questions because you were holding a conversation. That's
Good.
something
Hey,
you
good. That's
had.
hey. As long as I can do my part.
So,
Oh my gosh. Also, as a viewer in stream,
and I
always
think
think
the
beyond
one more,
yourself. I like that.
if I could add that to my tips would be, no matter what someone brings to your stream, there's a hello, a lurk, or a bit, even if it's just one bit or 1 penny a cent, always be grateful
I like
because you
that
didn't
too.
have it before and you have it now. So yeah, thank you, sexy. But always be grateful because they don't have to be here. You know.
I appreciate that. That's really good advice. Did you guys all hear that? Everybody hear that? Guys,
Are you going to
thank
continue your stream tonight?
I'll probably just talk. I mean,
Okay, well,
I
we're ready.
honestly
I'll head over there
yeah,
to your chat.
I always talk to my guys at the end, like especially like I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Normally I'll play some Diablo or something because I'm doing a thing with Diablo right now. Currently, I got picked for the supporter streamer campaign for Blizzard and Twitch. So I actually like when I play, I get the drops and I also get the people who get the horse mount for it. So I'm gonna probably get on Diablo. I think I don't know if who's getting on tonight with me, but we'll see. We'll find out right now. But again, Hykiri, thank you so much, man. I
No, thank
appreciate
you, man.
you bringing me on. I
Oh,
really do.
always, anytime.
It means a lot.
No, thank you. And I hope you have a good night. And I will
You
see you
too.
in about 2 minutes.
Thank you so
Okay,
much,
not a
buddy. I
problem,
appreciate it,
man.
guys. Hykiri, thank you
Thank
guys
you so
again
much.
for everything, and I really appreciate
You
you,
have a
man.
great
Thank you
night.
so much.
Good night, chat.
Good night, guys. Well, I'm staying here, but good night to him. Bye, guys.
Yeah.